Have you had any returns that you've been dubious about sending, that they've sent the right item back? And how did you deal with it, if you had?
Um, I don't think I've ever had the wrong item sent back. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that. I know there's people like, who was it? Someone bought something or had something returned. They sent something out and they got a lolly stick back. Who was
Oh,
it?
that was James at Bowl. Was it James at Bowl Finds?
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ordered a GameCube, didn't he?
That was it. Yeah, I thought it was like a return. No, I've never,
Logistic.
I've had stuff. Yeah, yeah, lolly stick. Literally, that's what was in there. But I've had someone say that. I mean, I check everything before I send it out. I'm OCD about it. Like if
Mm.
I'm sending a game or a DVD, even though I've checked it before I've listed it, I'll check it again just to make sure there's no scratch on, just to double check before I
Yeah.
send it. So I had someone say that they had a computer game turned up that they had bought and there was no disc in there. So I said, well, send the case back then.
Mm.
I'll take it back to the post office and get them to reweigh it because it's got the weight on the receipt that I've already sent to you. I
Yeah.
said, so I'll get that package, the same envelope, take it back, get it weighed again, and we'll see if there's any difference. If it's a different weight, then obviously the disc was in there. I said, like, because I know for a fact it was in there.
Yeah.
And they started going off on one, and I just couldn't be bothered in them. I just thought I just can't be asked. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I've never had
I think
anything wrong sent back.
99.99% of people are pretty honest, aren't they, on sending
Yeah,
stuff out?
yeah. And if I've ever sent anything out like electrical or something, which is easy to switch out, then I've always obviously put a photograph in of the serial number and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's good tip, that is. Yeah, I've had one where they returned it saying that it had a cut in it, a split in it. Do you remember? Like one of the, I think it was a Matthew McConaughey t-shirt. And
oh yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he cut that open and then ripped the
yeah,
rest of it before he sent it off.
yeah.
Because there was straight edge cuts in that thing. But at the end of the day, it was like 10 quid. And do you want to
Mm,
argue it? Really?
yeah.
And I dealt with it just by going, do you know what? You probably did cut it, but I can't prove it. So
Yeah, and
essentially,
that's the thing. I know. Actually, I had another thing. I sent a wooden mask, tribal mask. I think it went for about 70 or 80 quid if I remember rightly. It was had like real horse teeth in it, and it
yeah,
was it
yeah,
was it was a nice thing, like a proper tribal thing. And they said, "Oh, it's arrived damaged." And I went, "Well, can you send me photos?" They went, "I can't send photos because I've got no camera on my phone, or a camera's broken on my phone." I said, "Well, can't you borrow someone else's phone to take the
yeah.
photos to send me so that I can see how it's got broken so I can do the claim?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, there's no one. I don't know, really know many people, and like all this, that, and the other."
Yeah, it
And
sounds dodgy already,
I
doesn't it?
said, I said, I said, send it back then, because like, just send it back. And they went, oh, or like, just you can just do a little refund. And I thought, well, I paid like 5 or 10 quid for it. Like, it's sold for a lot of money. I said, oh, all right, I'll send you 20 quid for it. I just to have done with it, just because I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah,
And yeah, obviously it was a scam, but I just thought I'm still in pocket. They're
yeah,
just being an I'll just refund the bit of money and put them on the block list, and that's
yeah.
it.
That's it.
It was just less hassle than waiting for all the crap and then not getting the item back. I've had one recently, actually. I've just shut it down. A guy, I sold him a Harrods bowler hat for 20 quid. He bought it for 20 quid on eBay. Um, and he opened a claim, said he said it doesn't fit description or photographs.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same photographs that I used. All the details were in it, including the size was in the band of the hat.
Hmm.
So everything I did in the listing was correct. He said it didn't fit him when it turned up.
Did he measure his
So
own head?
well, that's the thing. He's going, oh, it must be different size. Harrods must be different sizes or something like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I want to return it. I said, yeah, okay, send it back. Anyway, I waited 3 or 4 weeks. It was a couple of days before it was due to come back. The last day couple of days before the last day before the case will get closed. And I thought I'll just have a look, see how it's going. So I looked on the details of the case, and it still hadn't. It still said dispatched. It said ticket raised and dispatched, but like obviously it hadn't gone anywhere in weeks.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll have a look on his eBay quick and see what he's playing at and try and contact him. Anyway, there's my bowler hat for sale on his, which he's had on there for over a week, right? But not only that, the real Mickey take was he used my photos. He'd nicked
Oh, really?
my photos. Yeah.
Wow.
So straight onto eBay. I said, look, this guy's opened this case. I've waited weeks. My 25 quid's been on hold for like 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
I said, so I was going to contact you tomorrow and ask you to shut the case down because I haven't received it back. I said, but I've just looked on the guy's eBay and he's got it for sale on his eBay. But not only that, there must be some copyright thing because he's using my exact photos of the head with the Harrods thing in my house. I said, so
What
eBay,
a cheeky bastard.
yeah. So the eBay guy reported it and put a strike against him. He said, also you do it. So I put an eBay thing in and done a strike against him.
Yeah.
But like he sold the bowler hat for less than what he bought it off of me for. So it was just one of them ridiculous things. And I was just in a bit of I was a bit shell shocked to see my listing on his eBay. Like, and he's got this case opened against me, and yet he's got the item for sale on his eBay. I just thought
So he just screenshotted your pictures, isn't he? Basically,
literally downloaded my pictures or saved my pictures or whatever he's done to it, and used exactly the same 5 photos that I'd used for my listing.
Cheeky fucker.
Exactly the ones. I think even the wording in the thing was exactly the same. He just nicked the whole listing.
Have you had any, George?
Oh yeah, I've had a few. Like, over the years, you pick up some corkers, but I've had the usual, like you say, most people who return stuff are like quite honest. They say, "Oh, it doesn't fit," and the open doesn't fit in the reason for return. And it's like, yeah, no problem, I'll refund you straight away. You do get the odd people who say, item's not as described, and then they put in and say, oh, this had a small mark on the cuff, and it's like, of course you get it back, and the shirt doesn't have a mark on the cuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Or like, this toy's broken, and it's like, comes back absolutely fine. It's just so that they can open up and get a return straight away
without paying postage.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
And they can they make the the invoice you, don't they, eBay, for the postage, so they don't have to pay anything. It's like cheeky bastards. So I've got one at the moment that I've actually got the return here. I put everything in the description, like all whatever defects are in there and everything, and they've said, they basically, for reason for return, they put in, oh, I don't, what was it? It was something like, it was too dirty, I don't want to wash it. And I was like, well, I'll put it in the description that it's got. It had like a mark on where the buttons close up. There was like a bleach mark there, and that was all that was wrong with it. It's covered up when you put your buttons together and everything. It covers it up. And I put that in the listing. I put 2 different pictures right next to each other, and they were like, they mentioned that in the reason for return, and I was just like, right, okay, BRC. And it's like they wait until the last minute to send it. And I got it like 3 or 4 days ago, and I've not refunded them yet. I'm going to wait until they get RC and refund them.
Absolutely,
just to be a little bit petty.
Yeah.
But I've had a few things. There was one with some plates. I remember there was some just normal like square plates, and I had some dinner plates and some salad plates, and I put a tape measure. This is why you should put a picture with a tape measure in it, in your pictures. Because they said, oh, I'm not as described, they're not the right plates. I've got picture in the what's it? Oh, I didn't see the picture. It's like, no, because now that you've realised that you've made a boo boo.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate it when people do that and they say, "Oh, can you send me a photo of pit to pit, or tell me the size pit to pit and top to bottom?" And you go, "Well, if you look at pictures 11 and 12, you'll see that it's there, picture with tape measure, and you'll see it on there." It's like, I don't even look.
This woman, she was trying to like make out that I'd lied in the list and everything. It's like, she actually put, "You've lied. It's not. These aren't dinner plates." I was like, "Well, no, they're salad plates. I put in the listing small salad plates, and then I put in the description the size, and I put what's it?" It's like, "Oh, well, I didn't see that." And I said, "Right." I said, "Don't worry. I was. This was a couple of years ago." I said, "No, you can send me them. You can send me them back. I'll give you a return. I'll give you a refund. No problem." And she was like, "Well, I can't send them back." And I was like, "Well, why?" It's like, "Because I'm disabled and I can't get to the post office." I was like, "Okay, well,
I've had
the
that
post
one
office
before.
That's exactly like, "Oh, my child bought this on my." Really?
They went through all the steps and know how to do it.
Yeah, they've been through all the to try and frustrate the process, and I was like, "Well, Royal Mail." It was at the time when Royal Mail could pick up. They still do now. So they pick up from your house if you want to send something off, and I think Every do it as well. And I said, Royal Mail, they can pick up and from your house if you have difficulty. And she was like, and then she went, "Oh, I don't need to do this." I was like, "Well, no, it's your fault. You've read the listing right now. You don't like the item, so soz." And then she said, "Oh, well, can you just give me a partial, that kind of thing?" And I said, "Well, no, because I've done nothing wrong. So you even send them back or you keep them." And then she just
on a message lately, it was going back like 7 or 8 messages. I can't think what the whole thing was, but at the end of the day, I went, "Right, I think you've got 2 choices. You either send it back for a refund or you keep it." End of conversation. And he went, "I'll send it back." I was like, "There you go. Right, stop moaning about it. Just here's your choices." And I do that with my 4-year-old.
It's funny though. You always have issues with stuff that's like low value. I had a top which I put. It was a phase 8 top. It was a really nice silk blouse, and I put in the listing like it's just starting like under the pit there in the armpit there. It's literally just starting to fray, and it's got like just a little bit of like wear there, you can tell. And I put a picture in the listing, I put it in the description, and she basically came back to me and said like, "Oh, it's XYZ." And I was like, "I know, I put it." And she says it's unwearable, and I was like, "Well, no, it's not, because you're not going like that. You're not walking around like that." Like, when you And I said and it was, you know what, I could have put it up for like, usually they go around about 15-20, and I put it up for like $7.99, and just to get rid of all this stuff, $7.99, and it went full asking within like a day because it's silk phase 8 and everything. And I thought, "You've got it for dirt cheap." Anyway, I just thought, I said no problem, I'll refund you, and I just refund you because I can't be bothered now.
Well, especially with the low value one. Just get it moving on, get it out the door.
Exactly.
I sent bloke bought a film prop spear from the Mummy from me, and it's in a massive tube. There's no way it's getting lost. There's no way this thing's getting lost. Correct address put on there and everything. And he's messaged me and said, "Hi, just a bit concerned as this still hasn't turned up." So I thought, really? So I got in touch with, I think it's Parcels, had all the photos and all that. I said, "Look, it's been delivered to this house here." I sent him a photo with a red front door. I said, "I've spoken to Parcel Force. They've given me the exact coordinates of your flat. The exact coordinates. It's been signed by someone else." And I said to him, "Look, not being funny, I said, anyone can sign any signature. I can sign blooming Daisy Duke if I wanted to, like when it turns up. Do you know what I mean? It does. I don't have to sign my own name. The postman or that ain't going to know what my name is." I said, "But not being funny, I've got the exact coordinates of where this has been delivered, and it's your address." So he was going, "No, no," and he done a claim against me, and I contacted them. And I said, I contacted eBay. I said, "Look," I said, "I've got the photograph." I said, "I've got the exact coordinates." Blah blah blah. This. He went, "Yeah, I'm going to shut it down in your favour." So I thought, fantastic. Anyway, Within a couple of days, I'm like looking on my payments, and it says 155, 150 odd pound negative. I think, what's going on there? So I'm looking, and then I've got a message saying the decision's been overturned in favour of the buyer. So I'm thinking, right, so he's got the spear. Now they've given him the money. So I got straight onto him. I said, look, this is taking the mick. Like, I've given you everything. This guy's obviously phoned up and had a little moan, and you're falling for his rubbish and all that. So it's been overturned. I said, but look, there's the coordinates. You've got the photographs. You've got all this stuff saying the coordinates to his exact flat, and it's been overturned in his favour. How is that possible? So now he's got the spear and he's been refunded. So anyway, this guy went, right, he said, I can see that. He said, whoever's overturned it is just ridiculous. He said, I'm going to overturn it for the final time in your favour, and there'll be no going back. So this bloke must have been fuming when he's seen it been overturned again, because they can only do that twice and then there's no more to it. So I thought, after that, I thought I was safe. I've been expecting him to go back to his bank then and say, look, this is a fraudulent thing or something, try and blag it that way and get his payment back for his credit card. But like, that was it. That was the end of it. So I just blocked him. I said, you're an idiot. You're a scammer. Like, and that was it. That was literally it. I got me 150 quid back. He didn't win because he never scammed me out of 150 quid. And yeah, but that was a weird one where he was trying to tell me it hadn't turned up. I mean, this thing was about 6 odd foot tall in this thick cardboard tube, which weighed a ton. There was no way it was getting lost, trying to tell me that he didn't have it. And like I say, that's the good thing about having the tracking, having the photos, having a company that you can phone up and they will give you the exact coordinates to that property.
Yeah, exactly.
Just safeguard.